Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today, we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so let's just dive in. And let's start off with this tweet here from MacAttack XRP back in November. So, the reason why I'm bringing this back up is because I do want to talk to you guys about something very, very interesting that a lot of people just don't realize. And that is the money aspect behind the XRP Ledger. So we do see NFTs get a new place to live, with Ripple aiming for mass adoption. The XRP Ledger from Ripple Labs now supports NFTs. The company wants to accelerate the mass adoption of tokenization, or representing real-world assets on a blockchain. Now, yeah, this is great, but what makes this extremely exciting is the value derived from tokenization. I actually want to go back to the report from Ripple that they posted a while back, and this is fueling a tokenized future. Ripple X's big NFT move creator fund. So they debuted this $250 million creator fund back in September, which was going to support creators, brands, and even marketplaces to explore a lot more use case potential on the XRP Ledger around NFTs. Now, with this, right, we started to see a little bit more developer activity, but what I also want you all to realize is what's happening around fiat, around currency. As we talk about CBDCs, as we talk about, tokenized gold and tokenized commodities in general, everything that we know about tokenization and what we know about everyday life is changing through tokenization. If you are not paying attention to tokenization, I highly suggest that you guys look into it, because it's going to be the biggest innovation around crypto. In fact, I do believe that tokenization is going to unlock trillions of dollars for market cap value for crypto. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's actually go over to this tweet here posted by Andre Frosini. I hope that I'm saying that last name right. I'm probably not, but this is the Business Developer Management at XDC Foundation. And we do see new Boston Consulting Group BCG report asset tokenization projected to grow 50x into a $16 trillion opportunity. Like, this is a massive opportunity. And we have the full report over here. So we do see about the 10% of global GDP being fully tokenized by the decade's end. And we do see that it will expand into a $16.1 trillion business opportunity by 2030. This growth comes as crypto winter is prompting capital to focus on more viable blockchain use cases. And we do see the projected growth in tokenization of assets is driven by demand from a wide range of investors for greater access to private markets. Tokenization and fractionalization of assets to lower barriers to investment in private markets by sharply reducing minimum lot sizes. And again, I shared many times in the past on this channel around the global real estate market, valued at $300+ trillion. I strongly believe that real estate is going to be a big opportunity for tokenization because, one, real estate is a very illiquid asset class, and fractionalization could open the door for massive opportunity within the real estate game. And I really do think that's a massive game changer as well. And this does talk about a few things. So, for an example, we do see the report by BCG and ADDX list 5 indications that asset tokenization may be on the cusp of a wide global adoption. Increased trading volume in tokenized assets, strengthening stakeholder sentiment across many countries, recognition among monetary authorities and regulators, more asset classes being tokenized, a growing pool of active developer talent in the blockchain space as well. And yeah, I really do think that we are about to see a major move within the asset tokenization game, and within the next 7 years, because this was talking about 2022, in the next 7 years, we will push from $310 billion to $16.1 trillion in tokenized assets. This is a huge opportunity. And I do think that's even bigger than this. And I do think that we could see asset tokenization reach the heights of possibly $100 trillion plus. This is why I say crypto itself is a $100 trillion asset class. And not to mention what we recently seen going back to the summertime. JP Morgan wants to bring trillions of dollars of tokenized assets to DeFi. And we even do see the bank's recent tokenization of money market funds with BlackRock dovetails with an institutional DeFi project led by the Monetary Authority of Singapore. pay attention to these big players and what they are focused on. They are focused on tokenization because they do see a massive opportunity within this area. Also, DeFi. Yeah, DeFi I do think is going to be a big, piece of the puzzle as well. But tokenization is the big one. Pay attention to tokenization and what it is doing to a lot of these major asset classes like real estate. And we do see over here how $544 trillion worth of assets could become tokenized. And this got posted back in 2019. This is crazy. But this does focus on traditional securities, including equity, real estate, investment funds, REITs, and others. They're experiencing the benefits of tokenization. And yeah, when we look at real estate, like I said, real estate globally is a $300 trillion market. And this is just one area. Imagine equities, investment funds, all of this being fully tokenized. It is going to change everything. And we actually do see down here, think of traditional assets similar to that of mailed physical letters and tokenized assets to that of emails. Bitcoin first brought us programmable money, and with that, we are now discovering the power of programmable securities. Ultimately, he believes that more than $544 trillion worth of assets throughout the world will inevitably be tokenized. And yeah, I do think that it will radically disrupt traditional finance. I think that everything around tokenization, even around crypto, is going to pour into every asset class out there, and I do think that the entire traditional system itself will be, flipped over on its head, because when we really kind of look at what's happening around a lot of this market, it is focused on the big picture, the disruption mechanisms behind a lot of these major innovations happening within crypto, like on-demand liquidity with XRP. It's a huge game changer. And we even do see here, fractionalized ownership, big key aspect, an interoperable financial realm, a removal of the middleman, and also liquidity. And this is allowing for 24/7, 365 trading. And again, this is a huge, huge opportunity, because guess what? The markets will never close. Everything will become liquid. Any illiquid asset class will now be fully liquid, and we will start to see a shift happen like no one's ever seen before. And again, this is just the beginning, because there's so many major players that got announced in the past that what they want to do, they want to fully custody Bitcoin, crypto. They want to push for, tokenization. Recently, we've seen, again, NASDAQ enters crypto market through security tokens, leads $20 million funding in Symbiont. And all of this was leading up to JP Morgan announcing that they do want to do tokenization as well with DeFi. And again, what we focus on is Ripple's standpoint on this. So I seen Crypto Airy post this back in September, and it was recently two key Ripple R's spoke about tokenization of real-world assets. The Payers article with Anthony Welfare pointed out that World Economic Forum projects 10% of the world's GDP will be tokenized by 2027. Today, Navin Blockchain spoke in Abu Dhabi, and again, tokenization was in focus. Yeah, 2022 was the year that we started to see a big focus point on tokenization. And what's interesting about Anthony Welfare, right, and his focus on tokenization, is that he's also one that continues to talk about Ripple's standpoint on stablecoins and CBDCs. And we even do see here, once you could use stablecoins and CBDCs to make quick and small transactions, you open the country to significant new opportunities and innovations. And we do see the XRP Ledger being mentioned here. I really do think that people need to realize the overall value here. I mean, even Swift understands this. Going back to October, we've seen this PDF file from Swift. Connecting digital islands, tokenized assets, result of Swift's collaborative experiments interlinking multiple tokenization platforms to achieve global interoperability. And they had a few reports in here. What I do want to zoom in on and what I want to talk about is the overall targeting of the legacy assets with limited liquidity and multiple layers of disintermediation. This is what they are going to go after. This is what they want to focus on. And yes, this is all focused on liquidity of tokenized assets through DLT. This is a big focus. And we even do see CBDCs being mentioned quite a bit. We also do see digital assets in general here, but I do want to also search up real quick. Here we have, I know that they have it spelled a little bit weird here, but it's all good. So I do want to share with you guys what we really wanted to talk about in this entire breakdown. And it was, I believe, on this page here. So a growing market. So we know that right now, currently, the overall volume of tokenized assets could reach $24 trillion by 2027. In these reports, they're talking about a $16 trillion opportunity by roughly 2020 or 2030. I do think, like I said, we could see a lot larger volume than what anybody anticipates because these are all estimates on what could happen, right? And we do see this is leading many securities market participants to actively assess how they could tap into and accelerate the growth of this market. Banks, securities firms, and financial market infrastructures, FMIs, have been responding to this trend by exploring digital asset servicing capabilities and how they could support the full life cycle of digital native or tokenized securities. Remember what I've said many times on this channel. These banks, these major names around finance will rush to adopt this technology because they don't want to be left behind. They see the value of tokenization. They see the value of the derivatives market, for example, $2.4 quadrillion. Like, these markets are not small chump change. Like, we're not talking about, oh, let's go after this market that's worth $200 billion. No, we're talking about, asset classes and major opportunities that are worth $200 trillion plus. And again, there's a lot of use cases within this. I mean, like, you see a few things being mentioned here. So first off, the experiments, they focus on tokenization of assets. They also talked about the old and the new worlds that can be achieved, RTGS/GPI and CBDC settlement. They also talked about atomic settlement between two major currencies. Again, atomic settlement, we always put a focus on whenever we do talk about XRP with on-demand liquidity. But then we do see fractionalization, programmability, shared golden copy, removal or reduction of the end-of-day reconciliations, cost savings, and processing acceleration. Then we do see use cases. Quite a bit of use cases here being mentioned, but mainly it is centered on tokenization of bonds and equities, de-tokenization of bonds and equities. We also see DVP transactions where the asset is tokenized bond/equity. The payment is flat or fiat currency, is on the Swift GPI or on the enhanced Swift platform, and the buyer and seller are using the same tokenization platform. They do talk about this quite a bit here, DVP transactions, but they also do mention the RTGS platform and also the CBDC platform here. And then they also do talk about two tokenization platforms in general. But this is just a few of the use cases that they are experimenting with. But there's so much more in this article that I do think that people should realize what is happening. And it is more so centered on tokenization of every single asset. And I do think, again, by 2030, we could see things change rapidly. We could see values being tokenized in the possible $100 trillion plus area. And in my opinion, when we look at things happening around Ripple, around, this entire space, it's very interesting to note that when we look at what Ripple's main focus point is, it's centered on cross-border payments, but from that, we've started to see the entire financial markets morph into the idea of tokenized fiat, tokenized currencies, stable coins, and guess what? When we look at what Ripple's doing, they are putting a focus on all of those areas. So to me personally, when we look at the XRP Ledger, I do think that there's a large amount of this capital, whether it be $24 trillion or $16 trillion by 2027, I do think that the XRP Ledger has a big opportunity within that area, and I do believe that a lot of that volume and value will be derived into the XRP Ledger. And also, this gives you a little bit of a point of view on just where we are headed within the next roughly 4 years around this market. Multi-millionaires will be made, and will they be made overnight? It definitely is possible. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.